I didn't actually know that the council offered stuff like this.
Obviously the council were heavily involved in that.
What's the first thing they do? They call their local council.
The closer you are, the more we care.
Straight down the Anzac Highway from the Adelaide CBD, Holdfast Bay is a premier seaside district stretching from Glenelg to Kingston Park. The council is proud of its beaches, trams and sophisticated vibe, and its cemeteries. Amanda Rose looks after Holdfast Bay's cemeteries.
There is a legal obligation for all cemeteries to be looked after. Sometimes it's the church, sometimes it'll be a cemetery authority, or if all else fails, it'll be the council. The City of Holdfast Bay is caretaker to the St Jude's Cemetery and the North Brighton Cemetery. Here in the North Brighton Cemetery, the late Premier Des Corcoran is buried here, and also the Channel 9 journalist Paul Moran, who was killed in Iraq very tragically. Over in St Jude's we have the very famous Sir Douglas Mawson, and we also have the famous artist Sir William Ashton buried there.
There's a special place in North Brighton Cemetery, one that's brought closure to many people, especially the mothers of stillborn children, like Lillian.
I was pregnant in the 50s, 1958, and at the time my doctor kept thinking that I was having twins. We could never find the second baby, so it was just thought that I was only having one baby. But when the babies were born, the second one was born behind Mark, so he had passed away and was stillborn. It was really traumatic because at the time the baby was just taken away from me. I didn't see the baby, and when I asked whether I could name him, the doctor said, "Oh no, you just don't do that." So it's a case of taking it away and you forget about it. Many times I had rung the funeral director and I'd rung the council trying to find out where my baby had been buried so that at least I could go down to the cemetery or do something, but nobody could tell me. So for 54 years I wondered where my baby had been taken.
The story of the wall, we have council records go back as far as 1904 for the very first stillborn baby. I had a call from a lady in Port Augusta. She wanted to know where her baby was buried before she died, and the lady was 95 years old. For this lady at her age, it was actually quite heart-wrenching. When I hung up, I thought, how do I show this lady, travel from Port Augusta, that her baby's buried in something that looks like a disused garden bed? No monument, no nothing to indicate that there's over 300 babies buried here. So I went and spoke with my general manager, who's a very compassionate man, and asked if I could perhaps look into doing something. The best I could come up with was to put plaques on the walls with the babies' names. My concern then was graffiti, because behind where the majority of the babies are buried is a big rest of brick wall. So then I talked to my general manager about maybe getting some artwork done there to make it something nice for people to look at. But graffiti artists tend to be very respectful of art, and so for me I thought it could be a win-win all round.
For career opportunities with your local council, visit careersincouncil.sa.gov.au. Councils get close to the things that matter to you.